As for Claudia, when you got the role, you knew it was going to be physically demanding. Was there any particular episode which really pushed you to the point of exhaustion?
Yeah, I was sick, had a bad flu. Out of their minds, I think. Thanks. It's new. Do you like it? I did it just so that you can do that. Thanks, honey. Oh, shucks. I'm always doing that to Ben on set. I'm like, you got something in your teeth. It's like gorillas in the mist.
It's true.
It's hot. It's really hot.
It's true. You come on set and she's going, hang on. We've all had our moments. I mean, because we didn't shoot, past season 1, we weren't shooting in purpose-built studios, so it would get very, very hot in the sheds out at Homebush. And Homebush was always 5 degrees Celsius hotter than the city because it's a harbour city and it's a lot cooler down by the ocean. And so we did have one episode where everyone, we were all dropping like flies. That was the one inside the dome. And we had our winter travel coats on. Yeah.
Like 4 layers of leather, and Anth went to hospital. Anth collapsed and was rushed to hospital.
Everybody had an incident at one time or another where they were rushed to a doctor, I think.
Yeah. Except me. Oh no, I got hit by a door.
See? and you got hit in the face in
I don't
season
remember
2.
that one. You should stop reminding me.
Didn't John Adams clock you in the face in the dark? When Tony Tillis decided to shoot.
Claudia,
I got a great idea. Tony would always finish the sentences. He goes, we're going to shoot it in the dark. We're going to use infrared. We're going to do all these stunts, and there's like stuntmen going everywhere. And you guys will come through the middle. Luckily, I was strapped up somewhere being tortured, so it was easy for me. And so they shot in the pitch black, a stunt sequence, with
sort of, for all intents and purposes, dead bodies all over the ground in front of us. John Adams, whose makeup, he was wearing a helmet that had no eyes. So his eyes are covered.
They did that to him 3 times. Every time they brought him back, although you can actually see John Adams in Peacekeeper War. He's, yes, ma'am. Very good, ma'am. He does the Peacekeeper off-sider to Greza, where you actually see his face, which is great. And he could see.
And there's a cool moment actually. It's quite chilling when Greza, I'm trying to remember what it is, and she decides they're not going to do anything. What's the moment they're both standing there and she's sort of been giving him orders, and then help me out, come on guys, you've seen it. He walks up to, if they don't know John Adams, if they don't recognize him, they're not going to know what I'm talking about.
But you recognize his voice. John Adams played Bikesh, yes, and then he played in Lava, in the Lava episode, where again, no, you can't see, and he also played one of the Luxons in Peacekeeper War as well. So he's everywhere. John Adams is everywhere. But you finally got to see his face, and he got to see, but everybody got hurt. That was the original question, wasn't it?
Well, in terms of, the question was in terms of getting to the point of exhaustion. I mean, definitely on a series on the season of the show rather than Peacekeeper Wars. But the great thing about Peacekeeper Wars was we knew that it was a finite entity in terms of energy levels. We knew that we could commit to a certain amount of time shooting it and put our all into it. And with a series, you've got to kind of pace yourself.
I thought that was the depressing thing, because by the time we finished, I was ready to start into the next season.
Yeah. A lot more of it was, we were pushing the edge a lot more. And if we'd had our time again, we perhaps in the first episode when they're stuck in the cell together, that's when they would have done it.
Well, that was our topic of conversation. We were doing the cell scene, and we were talking about the dynamic in the relationship. And I turned to Andrew Prowse and said, why don't we just, this is really early, this is the first episode, I said, why don't we just have them sleep together now and get it over with? And then we can spend the next year going, we didn't do that. I thought it'd be really interesting. And Prowse goes, God bless him,
that's a great idea. And Claude looked at both of us like, excuse me? I don't see this in the script.
You were just whining about the fact that you had to have your
Rocky's not here. He's gone, right? Please, Rock. But that's sort of, you know, trying to take whatever is the stereotype and subvert it or find an interesting angle on it. Because, no, you know, the law of every series is you can't put the leads together. Once you put the leads together, the chemistry is gone. And you know, basically we wanted to thumb our noses at what was conventional. And from very early on, we had people who were not only willing but anxious to do that kind of work. And, you know, look, we put them together in A Human Reaction. We put the two leads together, and they slept with each other, for those of you who know what that means. For those of you who don't, it was, you know, it was just sleeping. And but that's unusual. But after that, Claudia and I would sort of act like we were sneaking off somewhere to recreate the event.
Of sleeping.
And sleeping. And the writers kept telling us, no, you can't do that. So we just kept acting like we were. Till they killed me.
Thank you.
Hi. I have a question for Claudia and one for Ben.
See, they're being nice now. They're giving me questions. It's like, we feel sorry for Ben. Somebody think of a question, quick. No, it's okay.
For Ben, I haven't heard anyone comment on this yet, but I was wondering what you thought the impact on the future of the show might be with the new syndication deal that's coming up for next fall. And if you thought that boded well for the show's future since it would have a broader audience.
I've always contended that Farscape's future is larger than its past. Anecdotal evidence tells me there's more people here than there were last year or the year before. The number of people who were there to see us at Comic-Con grew exponentially. Most of the general population, when you say Farscape, say far what? It's just the truth. It was a niche show which was on sci-fi, and you know, look, most people don't even know that it existed, or otherwise. Syndication is where the original Trek finally broke out, and shows like Andromeda, which has a larger following.
And what?
And how was Kevin Sorbo to kiss Andromeda?
And it's the show that Michael Shanks' wife is on. I know what you're talking about now.
Is she a good kisser?
Dude.
Where's my car?
I never kiss and tell.
Cha. Yeah, and you know, most of these shows which are available free to air are, by their nature, they have larger audiences, and you're aware of them. So I think that as Farscape is syndicated, it will grow in audience, and I think Peacekeeper Wars indicates that as well. That there's still people who are discovering the show. They either discovered it on DVD. You guys know this better than I do because you talk amongst yourselves. Is the audience growing or is it getting smaller? So there you go. I don't know anything more than you guys know. It's a bit spooky what you actually know.
Yeah.
What's Claude's next project? You guys already know. We've seen the trailer. I haven't seen the trailer. I'm in the Green Lantern. I didn't even know.
And you were really good at it.
My agent didn't know, but he will come Monday.